I really got to start standing outside because I'm getting really pasty, man. But John Jones is coming back now. Wow, against Cyril Gane because the Francis Ngannou negotiations were probably a little lofty, and the UFC was like, you know what? Sorry, man, we have to do something, and they did. So Francis is vacating the title because he hasn't defended it, and now they're moving on with Cyril Gane versus John Jones, who wants that championship. We'll see. I mean, I'd like to see Ngannou versus Jones. I think that's a much rougher fight. I think it's a different style that Francis is. I mean, that John Jones is going to have to come back against because a lot of people like to discount Cyril Gane's wrestling, but I don't think he was expecting it in the Francis Ngannou fight. And when you are caught off guard like that, and they're using a style you did not expect them to use, you're kind of in for a ride of, getting taken down and, kind of getting grinded out wrestling wise. And you don't expect Francis Ngannou to ever wrestle because he's just such a stand up fighter. But he became so dynamic in that fight that when you saw Francis Ngannou finally wrestling, you're like, he's the complete package. And that's the thing is I saw a complete boxing, wrestling Francis Ngannou that was a total monster. And now we got Cyril Gane, which is also good. I mean, Cyril, his submission game's pretty good. He's good on the feet. He's good on the ground. And so is John Jones. So you could expect John Jones to shoot for a takedown or shoot for some sort of double leg or, even stand and bang a little bit. We don't know. But the bottom line question about this whole conversation is how is John Jones going to come back? Is John Jones going to come back good? Is he going to come back slower? Because you got to understand that he's been. I don't think he's gonna get busted for any sort of performance enhancers this time because he's taken a long time off to gain that much muscle. And anybody who's done authentic bodybuilding tells you that gaining muscle like that takes a long time. It's a lot of discipline, a lot of just getting shredded and yoked. And I can't believe I use that word. Um, but it takes a long, gradual process when you're not using performance enhancers, and that's why I firmly believe that he is natty. But having said that, I wonder, is this muscle mass going to affect his cardio at all? Is it going to help him or hurt him in that sense? He's definitely going to be able to throw harder punches for sure. But my question is just how is he going to come back after such a long layoff? Because this is the longest layoff we've ever seen John Jones in. Ever since that Dominic Reyes fight back in I think 2019, we haven't seen anything really since then. And Dominic Reyes got overtaken by the light heavyweight division. Now, I don't want to be a John Jones hater. And if you go by internet terms, it probably makes me a John Jones hater. I consider myself just a doubter at this point, and I don't mind doing that because John Jones loves it when people doubt him. It's like Conor McGregor. That's when he wants to prove you wrong. So you're okay to doubt him, But leading up, this is the longest layoff we've ever seen from Jones. And this is the one time he didn't get busted for steroids or have the belt stripped from him in any way, shape, or form. He did have a lot of controversial stuff go on in his personal life, but we're not going to get into that. But this is the longest layoff we have ever seen from a John Jones. And we are going to witness. He's probably way older. He's probably not, I don't know how the age is going to affect him. So there's a lot of things going in against him at this point. We'll see how this goes. But if he can possibly pull this off, I'm not saying he's totally dead in the water because there's a difference between heavyweight and light heavyweight. Heavyweight, you got a lot more heavier hitters, but you got less dynamic fighters. And John Jones' fight IQ and his dynamics are just off the chart. So I think that's going to favor him in the heavyweight division. But I have seen, like in that Dominic Reyes fight, moments where shots were giving him a little bit of trouble. So we're going to have to wait to see how those big heavyweights uh, come across. And it's not to doubt John Jones. It's just to see and say this is a way different ballpark for most of these UFC fighters. And let me tell you something. Uh, we'll see how this goes. I don't know what to make of this, but I'm glad it's kind of happening. I'm glad we finally got the answer to when is John Jones coming back, because he's been like Conor McGregor. He's been this; those two have been this shadow over this entire sport that people are wondering when are they coming back, right? I don't know if Conor McGregor is going to come back, but we know John Jones is coming back, and we'll see it in March. And that's 2 months away. They leaked it pretty close. So I'm looking forward to this whole fight, and I will see you guys next time. Let's go.